Cadence of Conflict, Asia, February 5, 2018. Writing about China is difficult. On one side, there is the Western push toward the false narrative that all things China are bad. Then, on the other side, pulls gravity from an invisible black hole gobbling up the truth. China is a yay boo. More yay and more boo than most other countries. Anyone expecting a narrative, west or east, while reading the truth about China, might instinctively think that the truth supports the other side. But Symphony doesn't take that stance. China is just China. It makes wise moves, it makes foolish moves, just like every other nation on Earth. This week was a week of economics. China is cracking down on cryptocurrency, just as it cracks down on anything it can't control with externally applied force. The cryptocurrency market in China is fleeing from the crackdown. Yet, China is reaching out to Europe and Britain. While the economy in Europe is big on China's list, so is the Vatican. Now, the Vatican wants an unholy marriage with China similar to the one with medieval Europe. Beijing and the Vatican choose Chinese bishops, and the underground church gets pulled out from underground. In other words, both Western and Eastern powers crush the little guy. This will actually cause the underground church in China to grow even more. Just how control is driving away cryptocurrency, so will Sino-Vatico control drive the underground farther underground. Like Jell-O in the hand, tightening the grip makes them slip through the fingers. A better solution would have been, more or less, status quo. Let China keep doing whatever they want, and let the Vatican excommunicate whomever they want. But the Vatican knows that would be the better solution. Does China know that the Vatican knows? Any kind of agreement between the Vatican and China is pointless, since China doesn't plan to ever compromise anyway, especially on the Vatican's human rights agenda as well as Taiwan. In the end, Catholics worldwide will hate China more. China should avoid all talks with the Vatican because any Westerner can foresee that it will only reap ill will in the West. Perhaps that is the Vatican's deeper agenda in making a deal with the dragon, as it were. If China is the tiger, then the Vatican is the monkey. The tiger has been warned. China making infrastructure and economic inroads to Europe is a good thing, but not on most levels people consider. Firstly, it is an indication that China feels a squeeze from the U.S. and is looking for new trading partners. Secondly, it will cause the westernization of China more quickly. Europe and Britain don't like dishonesty. Many of the dishonest practices Chinese businessmen are notorious for, which the communists are cracking down on for the record, won't be tolerated. In terms of ethics, China will have to westernize in order to do business with the West. Perhaps that's why Beijing is pushing it. To help with the crackdown. The second matter is more militarily strategic. To governments, all infrastructure is military infrastructure. If China has a roadway into Europe, that is a roadway that can be used by an army in either direction. So, finances between China and Europe carry two approaching stigmas. One, China's power is morphing into economics. And two, China is laying in wartime infrastructure. Changing to an economic power will weaken China's ability to use military force. Taiwan is making economic power moves of its own by positioning itself to become an AI development hub for the world, which China's customers could likely be dependent on if they aren't already. No one wants to drop bombs on customers, yet China is busily making both. These economic relations will tame the dragon, as it were, which may not be what China wants. Secondly, Europe is inviting China to become a stronger military power in their own backyard. China is no traitor, but nor are the Chinese loyal to anyone but the Chinese. Russia should try to halt China's relations with Europe for Russia's own good. Believe it or not, China may hold Russia in check before this is all over. Making inroads to China might be Europe's salvation in decades to come. And that is the cadence of the conflict already seen in the Pacific.